Okay, fifth time recording. Hopefully this is going to be the one. Hello everyone, my name is Jerome, and in this video I'm going to be cleaning out and upgrading my Dell XPS 159560. I've had the laptop for about 4 years now, but I haven't used it in the last year. When I was using it, the battery was pretty drained, so the capacity has dramatically reduced. The RAM and everything, that's fine, and the storage, because I have quite big softwares, the 500 gigabytes which is installed when you buy the laptop, that became problems at times. So I just moved everything on external drives all the time. So I'm going to upgrade these components. Starting off, I have over here, this is the RAM I chose to use. This is from Crucial. The RAM and the storage, there's a website which you can go on and it will say which ones are compatible with the laptop. This is the one I chose. It's 32 gigabytes, 2 sticks of 16. Currently in the laptop itself, it comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM, so this is upgrading it by double. This is the storage I use. So in the laptop, it's an NVMe M.2 SSD, and it's 500 gigabytes. So I'm going to upgrade it as well by double, so putting in a terabyte. I didn't feel the need to get 2 terabytes because the price, increases quite a bit. I think this one was about 100, maybe 110, 120 pounds. But if you get a 2 terabyte one, it goes up to like 270, obviously depending on where you buy it. So I just stuck with a terabyte, and because in the laptop I will take out the old M.2, I've brought an enclosure from Ugreen, and this will allow me to use the old SSD externally, so I can basically use it as another external hard drive. So that's really useful, and I've used it before, and it basically looks like this. It's USB-C and very simple to use. I mean, you just pop it open, plug in the M.2, and then that's pretty much it. And lastly, I will be upgrading the battery. The one I've got is from Dell. All of the components I got is from Amazon, just because it's easier to use. So this is the battery. It's got it's pretty much the exact same which comes in the laptop. This one was about 110 pounds. It's definitely needed. And the reason why I say that is because you can do a battery report on Windows, and it will say like the history of the battery. Also it will say the capacity at which it can charge at, and when I ran that on my laptop, it came up to 50% of the maximum capacity has drained. So this is like 97. I was getting about 48, so nearly about 50%. I will also use some thermal paste. I got this one by Noctua. This is a Noctua NTH1 thermal paste, and for the gaming PC I built, this came with it because I brought a Noctua heatsink for the CPU, so I had this lying around, but you can also buy this one as well separately. So onto the tools. Along the outside are T5 screws, and in the inside, as well as these two points here, these are Phillips. So what I've got is a toolkit which looks like this. Comes with like 140 plus components, and you can pick this up from Amazon as well for about £15 or something like that, and it literally has everything I need. It will have the The screw, you'll have the tool bits for each of the screws, the two types, as I said before, the T5 and the Phillips. It will have some other, things which could be useful. I use these plastics to pull the housing off, or pull the connectors off, like for example the battery or the fans. These are useful. In the kit, it also comes with an anti-static brush, which is going to be used to basically dust off any of the components like the fans, and as well as the motherboard. And what's important with this is that it's anti-static. It also comes with a magnetic pad, so you can put the screws on there so you don't lose them. If it's the first time taking off the case, you can use one of these. Basically, I don't know what the name is, but it's used to basically go around the edge, and you can kind of pry off the case, because it will kind of be a bit hard to come off for the first time. You can also purchase a kind of air duster. I've probably had this for over a decade, and I'll use this on the fans. Pick these up for like £1. And lastly, I have some rubbing alcohol, which if the thermal paste is very hard to take off, then rubbing alcohol can be used to basically clean it up a bit better, instead of having the dry thermal paste. And you can pick these up at various places, but everywhere you can buy stuff from Amazon. So the first thing to do is to take off the back panel, and for that is just to screw out the outsides with the T5 screw, and then use the Phillips screw inside the laptop, as well as at these 2 points here. Okay, so now the back cover can be removed. I will say as well that I have an anti-static mat, as well as I've got an anti-static wrist strap, and these can be it looks like this, and you just put it on your wrist, and then you ground the other connection, so you can plug it into the anti-static wrist mat, which can connect to like your radiator or the back of your PC. So it's important to do that so you don't damage any of the components. So now the back panel can be removed. Open this up. Let's press this somewhere. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I've already detached the battery. You can just pull it out. It might be a bit fiddly because the cables doesn't really give you much way, but keep at it and it will come out. I'm probably going to change the M.2 first, because it's really just a screw. So I'm going to do that now. There you go. This comes out at probably a 30-degree angle or so. Put this in, line up the notches, which you can probably just about see, like that. There we go. Don't need to do it overly tight, and that's fine. I believe you need to leave the sticker on. This is, the first time I'm messing around with a laptop, but I believe you leave the sticker on, because if you take it off, I think it will ruin the warranty or whatever. So keep the sticker on. Next we will do the RAM. Okay, so we're going to do the RAM. With the RAM, you just move these two metal clips, and the RAM basically pops out at like a 45-degree angle, and you can just pull it out. You can do the same with the other one. Go. Pulls out. And here is my new RAM, and you just have to line up the notch as well. If you try to pull it in, let's say the wrong way, it'll be hard to see on the camera, but on here there'll be like a little notch and it just doesn't align up. So if you flip it around, this should just go in at an angle like that, and you can just press it down. Do that with the other one. It'll be funny if I put the old RAM back in. There we go. Push this down. There you go. It's just that simple. You know, when everything's done, you can go back on the PC, check the BIOS, check the Windows settings. That you know, it's detecting the RAM. This obviously detects 32 gigabytes, and it should obviously detect a 1 terabyte storage. You can also do a battery check and check the capacity of the battery as well. So next, I will leave the battery till last. Just as a reminder, make sure this is disconnected, the battery, and I will clean up the fans, which I have taken out, but I'll show how to take out again. Clean up the fans, take off the heatsink, and apply thermal paste after. Now I'm going to remove the fans and clean them. So this is just 2 screws here, as I said, all Phillips. Get this over here. And the camera might not pick it up, but you'll see, you know, how dirty fans can get. Also unclip it here. And we can just lift that up. So these white marks here is your dust, and also inside here is a lot of dust. So I'm just going to clean that over the side. There we go. I'm going to do the other fan as well. I believe this one isn't as straightforward to take out, but we can see. I think there might be something I need to remove. Okay, just going to clean this as well, because this is also as dusty as the other one. Okay, so that's fans cleaned as well. So last 2 things are the GPU, CPU, applying new thermal paste, and then lastly I will unscrew the battery and put the new one in. Okay, so next I'm going to take the heatsink off and clean it and apply new paste. I have taken off the screws just now, and there are 5 screws, all Phillips head, one here, 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 and under this tape, which I didn't actually see. So if you kind of push this back, you'll see another screw here. So I've kind of bent the heatsink, but you know, it should be fine. When the case gets pushed on, it will, you know, should be fine. So when you do these screws, these 5 screws, the heatsink should come off. And it will look like this. That can stay on there. This one kind of moved out of place. There you go. So just going to give this a clean. If it's very hard to get off, you can get some rubbing alcohol. So it says cleaning, rubbing alcohol, do not drink. In case anyone thinks it's something to drink in my household, but you can buy those at loads of places. But the heatsink here is coming off fairly easily. Sorry, the thermal paste, not the heatsink. There is a little bit tougher, but I am happy with that. Also, don't forget the heatsink to clean up this dry solder paste. This is a lot more drier, so I'm just going to add a splash of the rubbing alcohol onto this cloth. It does have a lot of a smell, and I'm going to clean this. Maybe I should have used it on those, but that's fine. There you go. Okay, just going to fix up this. Now I'm going to put this back. I kind of want to just ever so slightly bend this back, because I did bend it. I didn't realize there was another screw, but you know, at least I make these mistakes so you don't have to. Next thing to do is put all of these screws on. Okay, so the last thing is the battery, and there's basically just screws around the edges. As I said before we start any of this, make sure the battery has been disconnected. And just as a note, the colors are going from black to red, so when we get the new battery, when we plug it in, also should be black to red. Also, if you want to change the Wi-Fi card, down here, that's where you can do it. Just unscrew this, plug the two little cables out, and then switch it. I think you can get them for around £20 or so. So as I said before, this goes, just lift it up. This goes black to red. Good, and yeah, just pretty much screw the screws in. And the BIOS, I believe, has the Windows product key. I think it's something called like OEM. So even though I'm switching out the hard drive for a different one, when I plug in and start up everything, it should basically boot up Windows like a new Windows, which I probably would have to set up again, which I don't mind because there was nothing on the old M.2. And if that doesn't work, then I've got a USB which has Windows boot recovery, and then that should work if it doesn't automatically go into the Windows setup when I turn this on. Okay, so we just need to plug the battery in now. All the screws are in. And I will just double check that I have the fans connected as well, because that's what we have to plug out also, which is there, and I'm going to plug the battery in. Might have to be a little bit aggressive. You don't have a lot of room to play with. Good. There you go. Clipped in. Good. Okay, so now that is complete. Everything has been installed. The laptop has been cleaned. So I just need to put the back panel back on, screw it in, and hopefully everything will turn on. Okay, so the last step is basically just to put the case back on, and that's, you know, fairly straightforward. And the last one. So that is how you open up the Dell XPS 15, change the RAM, the storage, clean the fans and the motherboard in general, as well as apply heatsink onto the GPU and CPU. Oh, and along with changing the battery. So thank you for watching.